All right, let's talk about marketing technology, or MarTech. It can be this incredible engine for growth for your company, or it can be a huge, expensive headache that just slows everything down. So the big question is, which one is it for you? Let's dive in. So let me ask you straight up. When you think about all your marketing software, does it feel like a powerful, streamlined machine? Or does it just feel like, well, friction? Like you're trying to drive with the parking brake on? Are your tools working together, creating synergy, or are they just creating more work and slowing you down? If you're not sure, let's see if any of this sounds familiar. Are your marketing campaigns just crawling to the finish line? Is your sales team constantly griping about the quality of the leads you send them? Are you practically living in spreadsheets, manually exporting data just to figure out what's working? If you're nodding along to any of these, odds are your MarTech stack is broken. And that brings us right here to what I call the MarTech stack mess. It's this super common trap where companies think adding more and more tools will lead to more progress, but instead, it just creates way more chaos. And you can really see the difference here. On one side, you have that overloaded stack. It's just redundant tools, wasted money, and a team that's completely burnt out from jumping between a dozen different apps. The data is a mess, and no one really knows how to use half the stuff you're paying for. But on the other side, you have the smart stack. This isn't about having fewer tools, not necessarily. It's about having the right tools, all working together, all pointing toward your actual business goals. That's the game changer. So, how do you get from that overloaded mess to a smart, strategic stack? Well, you bring in an expert guide. And this is where the fractional CMO enters the picture. They are the strategic guide who knows exactly how to navigate this kind of chaos. This quote just hits the nail on the head. A fractional CMO doesn't just see a collection of software, a bunch of logos on a slide. They see an operational framework. They understand that your MarTech stack is the place where your brilliant strategy actually gets executed. It's the engine room of your growth. It's a totally different way of looking at it. Okay, so what does this operational framework actually look like? Let's pop the hood and break down the anatomy of a truly smart stack. It's not some random grab bag of apps. It's a focused ecosystem built around 7 essential components for growth. The secret here isn't to have 100 different tools. It's about having one great tool for each of these core jobs. It all starts with your CRM. That's your single source of customer truth. Then you need automation to be efficient and analytics so you actually know what's working. From there, you layer in the things that give you speed and alignment, like AI tools and project management, and the engines for growth, like ad tech and SEO. See? Every single piece has a clear purpose. No fat, no redundancy. Okay, we know what a smart stack looks like, but how do you get there? How do you actually build one? Well, it's not about throwing darts at a board. There's a deliberate 5-step process that's designed to take you from that messy toolbox to a high-performance growth engine. This method is really a journey from chaos to clarity. First, you have to audit everything you've got. What are you paying for? Is anyone even using it? Then, you align your needs with where your business is actually at today, not where you want to be in 5 years. Now, step 3 is where the magic really starts, choosing tools that actually talk to each other. But, the most overlooked step is almost always the last one: governance. You can buy the best software in the world, but if nobody knows who owns it or how to use it, it's just expensive shelfware. This isn't just a checklist. It's a blueprint for actually getting it done right. So what's the payoff for all this work? What does it actually look like when this moves from a slide into the real world? Let's talk about the impact. Here's a perfect example. We're talking about a growing edtech brand that was seriously struggling. They had a patchwork of tools that didn't connect, their reporting was a disaster, and getting anything new out the door was just painfully slow. After a fractional CMO came in and implemented this process, this was one of the first big wins, a 40% reduction in campaign planning time. Now just think about that for a second. That's not just about being a little faster. That's about accelerating your entire strategy, getting your best ideas to market in almost half the time. That's a massive competitive advantage. And that newfound speed was just the beginning. By pulling everything under one roof, HubSpot in this case, and integrating some smart AI tools, they were able to segment their audience so much better that the lead quality went through the roof. And maybe the biggest win of all? For the very first time, the founders had a single dashboard where they could see the entire customer journey. They could finally, truly see what was driving revenue. And that really brings it all home. A great MarTech stack isn't about collecting the most logos. It's not a trophy case. It's about the quality and the integration of the tools you choose to build your growth engine. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Your MarTech stack, whether it's a cluttered mess or a streamlined engine, is telling a story about your business, about your strategy, about your priorities. The only question is, do you like the story it's telling? Thanks for joining us.